Hello everyone, ScotsMaiar here, and apologies for the very brief, very sudden cut from the previous episode. My laptop was saying, "You ran out of batteries," and so the recorder stopped. So the way my recorder works is that you gotta keep it recording, and if on this simple screen, and if you click on anything else, or if the laptop shuts down the game for any reason, or in this case, telling of low battery, the recording session will stop. So, sorry for the very sudden cut from the last episode, but anyway, on we go. This is not what I was expecting. Let's be honest, how many people would know of these history facts? Aside from me, anyway.
Going right to the obscure ones, aren't you? Easy enough. Tullybody Old Bridge in Clackmannanshire, Scotland, on the January of 1560, if we want to be specific.
Suddenly it's a game where we throw our history questions and facts at each other. A battle of wits! Back and forth in hushed tones unless we want to be thrown out the library. After a while it goes from some strange competition to this strange but friendly banter, if it could be called that. But as fun as it is, the exchange soon slows down until we're grinning at how odd this whole scene is.
Marianne McCulloch, my desire for potatoes doesn't quite match what the stereotypes suggest.
Rebecca Gales, the Scots' supposed hatred for the English wasn't enough to stop me from teaching their little spawns.
Wait, she's Scottish? But then we had forgotten about her little tug-of-war, although she still holds the book in her hands. I had to let it go without realizing when she answered my first question.
History teacher, then?
Got it in one.
No wonder you gave me a run for my money. Now, if we're talking about architecture, I'd blow you out of the water.
You're hardly whispering, you're in a library.
You're from where? Luxburn Uni?
Oh no, just St. Goretti's.
Ah yes, St. Goretti. You'd think a school would choose a more appropriate saint to name themselves after, especially when they have very young students.
And I'm guessing you're an architect, if you're so confident about the subject.
She's English. Why did she say she's from Scotland? Oh, maybe she lived in Scotland. I don't know. We'll find out from her journal when we play her in the next chapter. Anyway.
Interior designer, Miss Gales.
Please, just call me Rebecca. You aren't one of my students, are you?
Too young to be one of my students.
Marianne, then.
I could have said that I was the architect, but there's no point in explaining why I wasn't one anymore.
So, I've never seen you before. I'd like to think I've met every history aficionado in town.
I blame the rock I've been hiding under, of course. That, and I'm usually only here on the weekdays if time allows. Work often has me meeting clients on the weekends.
That must be interesting work.
It allows for some creative freedom, sure. But it's like working with children sometimes. Though you probably have it harder working with actual children.
Yeah.
The hardest part is convincing them that your idea is their idea.
That sounds exciting.
It is!
But isn't that true for any workplace, though? We just cross our fingers and hope there aren't any man-children in charge of important things.
Well, that's saying quite a lot, because this game is currently being played by a man-child in charge of important things like getting them to avoid ghosts. You know, the ghosts haunting the mansion. These girls, library, they're Sherlock and Moriarty, the conversation, they're talking back and forth. So, let's get on with it.
Any big projects right now? I can't imagine that interior designing is a frequent thing.
I'm working on the Ermengarde mansion. Lucky me. That mansion. Inta. Wonderful. Breathtaking. I can't wait to start in it.
Listen to Marianne. She's pronouncing certain words correctly. Intact.
Now that is beautiful architecture.
Mwah! A pause. Looks like she wants to say something at the mention of the house. I'm not surprised. That place is certainly popular with the locals, especially the urban legends attached to it. And the next second, though, she She seems to think better of it and drops about what she's about to say.
So, do you have a portfolio or anything I can take a look at? I'd love to see your designs. Maybe you have some on a tablet. I've met some designers before, and they're always going crazy over these virtual room apps or another.
Yeah, that's what people do nowadays.
A tablet? Please. Callicrates didn't need those silly iTabs when he built the Parthenon. I certainly don't need one to design a house.
Nope. The computer back at my place is all I have. Why should I buy such an expensive gadget that will go outdated within a year when I have just... what I have is just as functional? Exactly! Everybody listening at home, it does not matter how fancy your equipment is. If it functions, it works. I've only had to purchase this nice new laptop because it has tons more space and it allows me to play games. I had to purchase a new phone because it's functional, not just because it's fancy. I'm happy with the phone I've got. And I'm happy with the room I have. Who cares if it's messy? Who cares if it's somewhat a bit etchy in places? It's still functional. As long as things are still functional, you can still live in it. The traditional ways have a far more personal touch, in my opinion. Not to mention, these smartphones are awful tools of procrastination. Yeah. I'm guilty of this too. I can't even count on one hand the other number of people I'm going outside, only to have their eyes glued to their things. Yeah, I'm guilty of this as well. I really need to read more books. I mean, let's be honest, we're all just slaves to the screens nowadays, aren't we? I mean, that's why I'm doing this series to begin with, right? Right? My goodness, that got unnecessarily deep.
I do have an online portfolio if you'd like. I can...
The thinking of the devil seems to have summoned it. Because before I can carry on, Rebecca's attention wanes as she pulls on her mobile. The scourge of our existence. The phones! The phones! The phones! I just threw my phone. I do my best to give it to her as well, trying to tune her out.
Belle, is something wrong? Lunch at the coffee house? Sure, I can make it. I'm not too far, I can be there in 10.
But with how quiet the surrounding is, she can't blame me if I overhear snippets of her conversation. When she returns with a sheepish look on her face, I know that our friendly chat has to be cut short.
Sorry, I have to go and meet with some friends.
It's fine. Totally fine. No need to even apologize.
About the book.
Her embarrassment increases twofold when she realizes she's still holding on to history of Luxburn architecture. I don't give her time to think about it, so as I put my hand up and shake my head, fishing out a pen and paper with my bag along with one of the business cards, I hand them over to her.
You know, I'm busy with work, so I might not even be able to take a peek at it anytime soon. You can go ahead and have it. But you'll have to ring me up when you're returning it just so I can snag it right away. Deal?
She makes quick work, penning her number down, and handing it back to me with a grin.
Deal. Just message me during school hours, of course. You have a good day then.
You too.
And with that, she goes. Although my original plans were simply to sit down and read a good book, our little pop quiz, if you could call it that, made the time pass by without us even realizing it. It's funny how much time passes when you're having fun, when you're at peace. It was fun, but I do believe I met a new friend. Good job, Marianne! Even with the talk of lunch, however, I don't feel like grabbing a bite to eat. And there are still other books to read here, and I'm hoping to find something that will help me while I work with the rights. Something like How to Deal with Arseholes Professionally 101, just in case. I've dealt with a lot of uppity, snooty and rich clients before, but it's still better to be safe than sorry. Because Luke Wright just takes the frickin' cake, and he probably manages to eat it too. The phone.
Marianne McCulloch, Charlie Rose Design speaking.
Rest in the heavens with our Lord and Savior Jesus, Miss Cooper. For those of you who don't know, who don't remember, She gets killed!
Rose Cooper here, Miss McCullough. I hope I didn't catch you at a bad time or anything. But I just wanted to check in and tell you that we've got the clear to hand over the documents. Madam Wright told us that we should forward the floor plans to you.
Already? How did they go through the process so fast? Surely there's so many red tape to even acquire the forms of the transferring of rights. No matter how rich the rights are, it shouldn't be this quick, right?
So, if I can just have your email, I'll be sending them your way.
I'd actually like a physical copy of the floor plans.
Oh, I suppose that's fine. I'm not at the office right now, but I can inform Miss Santos of your request.
I'll make sure to drop by the office after lunch if that's fine.
Not a problem. Right. Well, cheers.
Cheers, big ears. Bye-bye.
Right. Cheers.
I don't know. I just don't know. If there is some sort of deeper miscommunication where we last met, these things take time. It's been, what, a day? Less than that, even? There isn't even a point in trying to make sense of these people who seem to be larger than life. Chips. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I missed her saying something French. Sorry. I know this. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now we're here. I really am sorry for skipping through some of this, but sometimes, you know, it can get repetitive. I really regret seeing her read French, but, you know, gotta get on with things. Ah ha ha! Speaking of ghosts, Santos comes into the door, looking at us, so she's seen one. Oh yeah, she's. Oh my! Wait a minute! Hold on, I need to check something real quick. Okay, timelines. Isabel Santos drowned herself in her work the whole day. Yeah, that's something important. Oh, she'd seen a ghost, alright! In this very place! She looks at me wide-eyed like a deer caught in the headlights, ready to bolt at any moment. I ask out of concern, but I feel it's not my position to do so. What if it's something personal? Wait, what day is it today? It's 22nd. Yeah, sorry, just checking something. Really, it's none of my business.
I presume that Miss Cooper told you why I'm here, Miss Santos?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I just got back from lunch, you know? But it won't take too long, don't worry.
Of course it won't. This whole project has established itself to be a matter done in haste. I do hope it doesn't mean that people are being careless in their duties.
She flinches, and looks like she doesn't quite know how to respond to that. Thankfully, instead of opening her mouth, she leads the way towards her station and goes to fetch the floor plans. It won't take too long, as she said, but it does take a bit. Time spent to compose herself, most likely.
You know, we usually just email these things.
Alright.
I prefer the real thing.
Now that you would know, you probably have your nose stuck in front of your smartphone when you're not working, and even when you should be working playing those mindless, addictive games. I sit in silence as I play a mindless, addictive game.
I know what you mean. Digital painting is nice, but nothing beats the smell of real paint.
Yes. I often prefer the best of both worlds. Both have their benefits.
Not that I go and smell paint like a crazy person, but, you know, the real thing is different.
Sorry, sniffing paint, yeah. Wait, what?
Yes, nothing is quite like the real thing.
Ha. Alright, so now we get to see what the attic is like. And there's 2 attics. And we went to this attic. Oh, nice! There's a theater? Huh.
Okay, so the first floor, balcony, hallway. That's the kitchen there, right? Oh, no, sorry, no, sorry, my mistake, no. It's this way. That's the porch, yeah. This is the ground floor, pardon me. Parlour, restroom. Oh, so the kitchen's... Oh, that's where the wine cellar is. You know, something funny about this mansion. I keep thinking the kitchen is in this area here. I keep thinking that that's where the kitchen is, but of course the kitchen has to be in the dining hall, of course. Parlour areas. Right, the parlour is to the right there. Right, but I thought the parlour was over there. Oh yeah, of course. You probably went that way. Okay, now I get to know the symmetry of this place. Right, a music room. Oh, sweet and lovely. Beautiful music room. There's a ballroom there. Yep, in the garden. Yep. And there's the quarters. Nice bedroom. Nice galleries and. Then you go up the stairs, there's a balcony. Always, master's bedroom, and a bedroom, balcony, and the study room, and the quarters, common room, and the theatre, right near that other bedroom, in the attic. Jacobean style is its finest. It's a thing of beauty. Look at those gorgeous rooms, the delicate harmony between the empty spaces. So now I know where everything is. Brilliant! Thank God. Speaking of empty spaces, there's something rather odd about these ones.
I feel a bit silly saying it out loud because I've never lived in a big house, let alone a mansion. But during the tour, I had the distinct impression that the rooms were bigger.
It's funny what things bigger than the inside than the outside can do.
Maybe the scale is wrong? It's not much of a problem. And it is an old house.
There have been little details here and there that I would have liked to address during the open house too. But it was all forgotten in the wake of Miss Santos' incident and the trouble of ownership. Wine cellar is going to be a big problem. I shudder to think of what sort of repairs they did to the place. Making it comfortable for the ghost. There might have been things that were swept under the rug, pushed to the dark corner of the rooms, and hidden away in barrels. Water damage could have been covered up. There had been floods due to heavy rains in West England this last year, after all, and if there's any sort of damage to the house's foundation, there's going to be a lot of work. I was not able to look at the attic as well. For all I know, a whole family of vermin could have made their nests here. Working with pest control is always the worst. I think you need to call the Ghostbusters, dearie. The sheer size of this place is staggering, even if I did just say it was a lot smaller than I thought. I might just be biting off more than I can chew, but who doesn't like a good challenge? First things first, I'll have to...
So, do you want a coffee? The one from the staff room is pretty decent.
There's really no need. I'm sure you have rules against it.
Rules against bringing someone coffee? That's ridiculous. And even if there were regulations against it, nobody's really here to tell Sir John. I've already brought 2 mugs, and I'm not going to drink them on my own. Come on.
Drinking is a sign of friendship. I just stamped down my annoyance of being distracted. Seeing the girl, the young woman, though, it's like she has a lot in her mind. If babbling is her way to dealing with stray thoughts, I'm not really the one she should be babbling to. Have something to say? Have something to say? And thus, our connection grew immediately bigger. Whoa, she's got a lot of sass to her. Oh, gosh. But when she just stares, I clear my throat. I'm sorry if I had inappropriate language there.
Yes? You have something to say?
Too hot.
Just thinking and speaking off the record. It must be fun what you do. You go to people's houses and you make them, well, pretty. You're sharing your art with them.
Yes, there's something beautiful and heavenly about having the gift of creating. I was watching Ratatouille again recently, and they were talking about the art of and joy of just simply creating. There's a lot of joy that comes from creating things, as well as creating hope and peace, mind you, and to hope for future generations.
It's a little bit more complex than that. But if you put it that way, it is fun. I wouldn't have done it for 7 years if it wasn't a little bit fun, I guess.
These big clients always have paintings in their homes. Do you have a supplier for art pieces?
I didn't expect to hear such questions from her, seeing how well she handled herself yesterday. I didn't doubt then why she was assigned to an important sale like the Ermengarde mansion, despite the little accident she had. Now she looks too young and too nervous and too unsure of herself, although her enthusiasm must make up for that in spades. In fact, I wouldn't have believed it if she had introduced herself in the way she is at the moment. Why, watching her now, she actually looks like she should still be in college. Acts a bit like it too, when I think about it. I thought she was a teen, summoning it out in the mansion when I first saw her there, lying on the ground. Surprise, surprise, she turned out to be one of the estate agents handling the property, and she was haunted by a ghost, yes. I don't even know what to make of that roll, meltdown, that happened with that strange document. If I were the client, I would have been very upset. She'd be in hot water for it.
The clients usually support artists of their own choice. If they don't, I'm always happy to refer those that I know.
That's cool.
They're very picky. I don't think a hobbyist will have an easy time getting their work sold.
Hey, I'll have you know I was a student of the fine arts.
Oh.
And yet here you are, selling property. Maybe you weren't a very fine student of the arts.
Ooh, this is coming from someone who's a professional. Maybe I took that a bit too far. She bites her cheek, and it looks like she barely holds herself back.
It's not like I had a choice.
Oh, sweet pet. She mutters it under her breath. I barely even hear it. But the hurt is there, and it makes one wonder what brought it on. Although it is understandable, if her reason's what I think it is, very few people make it Bigfoot in the art world. I can see why she'd be upset about it, with that enthusiasm. I didn't have a choice when I left Ireland. It was that, or years of unemployment. The recession, and the toll it took into the construction industry was out of anyone's control. I don't know what choice she was able to make, whether it was about her being in art school or something else. But the world isn't a fair place, and the sooner she accepts it, the better. Still, with that forlorn look on her face, I can't help but sigh. The girl reminds me far too much myself when I was younger.
Well, if you're thinking of commissioning your paintings, I'll have to see your work first.
Oh, it's not... I didn't mean it like that. I don't have any paintings.
That can all change. We can hang them up in the mansion.
Really? You sounded a lot like you still did art or want to. Now I'm starting to worry that you might just like the smell of paint.
I'm not a paint huffer, sheesh. I just mean I don't make much anymore. I don't really have the time for it.
Yeah, it's sad that we don't really have much time for anything. But you know what? As long as we keep the right time to dedicate ourselves to the right things, it'll all work out fine for infinity.
The tools and materials aren't exactly cheap either.
True. I'd recommend going to Hobbycraft. If you've never heard of Hobbycraft, that's one of the best art shops ever.
Everything has a price. It sounds like you're making excuses for something you're presumably passionate about.
I mean, true. I'm probably going to work on my opus later on.
If you really want to practice art, a little out of your wallet isn't much.
As long as you are going to use it. You may spend a lot of money, but the money only is worth it if you're going to use it. For example, I have this gym membership, and I have to keep going to the gym, not just to keep fit, but to make the money worth it. Because if I only go to the gym once, then I practically paid like 200 or 600 pounds for one swim. Do you see how stupid that is?
It's not that simple.
Yeah, but in this case, she's living in an apartment where she feasts off fast food noodles.
It's not. Life's simple. People just like to make it complex.
Oh my goodness gracious gravy. Marianne is strikingly right. If only things were more simple, eh? If only we'd be living in a blissful garden. If only we could just dedicate ourselves to following this one man, eh? Gosh, that really got me thinking. Life's simple. People like to make it complex. You see, all the turmoil, all the hardships, all the conflicts, and all the evil that's happening, That's from people who just want to make things more complex. My goodness, sorry, I just had to pause just to really let that sink in. Woo, that was deep.
Speaking off the record, I have some advice for you, kid.
Grow up, kid. You're right, I should probably get on with some arts. I should probably get on with animating.
Either go for what you want, or stop thinking about it when you have something else. That is unless you enjoy making yourself miserable, then by all means.
Ooh.
You know, if you wanted to look at the floor plans without me bothering you, you could have just said so.
Would you have left me alone?
We'll never know now, will we?
A strange air settles in the room afterwards. It doesn't help that it doesn't immediately leave, as she said, lingering awkwardly by the door with that downcast expression. It's clear that there's more she's meant to say, perhaps even to defend herself with her choices in life. Or is she expecting me to dish out more of that advice? It's an awkward affair, and I choose to highlight out the reality of it as quick as I can. Whoa, look at all the lens flares. I've seen that most of the day is already gone before I realised it. I choose to head back to the flat instead, despite today being a Saturday. No fun, but at least this way I can avoid another unpleasant encounter. Considering how much I'll be seeing whiskey in the near unforeseeable future, I have a feeling I'll need all the rest the weekend can give me. For the first time in a long while, excited as I am to work at the mansion, I cannot wait to be over and done with this project. Monday 24th. And you know what? Just because she's Irish, I might as well do some Irish celebrities. Let's do Liam Neeson, just for a laugh. Monday couldn't come any sooner. After taking the floor plans from Miss Santos the day before the last, I spent most of my Sunday drawing up plans and calling on my suppliers. Although my design choices have not been made yet, I'm quite sure that they'd want high-end appliances, the most expensive materials, the most pretentious everything. They usually did, these rich types, based from experience at least. Given how badly this whole thing started, it wouldn't hurt to be prepared. I have to check myself, make sure I'm not playing with my gloves as one of the other building tenants takes the elevator up with me. It makes me self-conscious when the woman's eyes go over me, and I'm sure she was going to point out some perceived flaw in my physical appearance. You have a problem with my haircut. You have a problem with my nose. But I'm safe from being paranoid. When they went off a few floors later, still on the ride up to my floor was nerve-wracking. The Wrights lived at the very top. The penthouse, the creme de la creme when it comes to condominium. Am I reading the word that I think I'm reading? Condominium? Well, some people like protection, don't they? And urban living. Just getting access to the place is its own ordeal of its own. I had to jump on so many hoops, so many security checks, just to secure a key card. Not only because of building management, but because of the Wright's personal security. It sometimes felt like I'm being interrogated for a crime. I'm not visiting a client at their home. Even when their personal assistant called in to help out and verify my presence, the process is aggravated rather than hastened. Speaking of the devil. Ah, your hands! The elevator door opens and I am greeted by none other than Whiskey's not-so-little lackey.
I do apologise if I kept Mr. and Mrs. Wright waiting. But I'm here now and I'm ready, so if I may, where are they?
They've just woken up, but they should be down soon. I'm surprised to see you made it through security, and only 5 minutes late.
I have my own methods, don't you know, Ginger Ed Sheeran?
You said I'd be through security soon, and it took half an hour. Define soon in this context.
Yes, explain that, Ginger German Ed Sheeran. And that rhymes now.
I'd make myself comfortable if I were you. I'm going to go and put the kettle on.
Very well. I'd like myself some lemon tea with some sugar cubes in it. Don't forget the cocktail umbrella.
About the tea, I don't want to intrude or anything.
The sir does not like being woken up by the whistling. But who am I to deny tea to a guest?
He shows me to the couch before drifting off towards the kitchen, quietly pulling out a teapot, cups and all sorts of things in preparation for tea. I ignore the animosity towards his employer that his words implied. I wouldn't be too surprised if Whiskey's own people don't like him. Accepting the quiet and isolated instead, I brace myself for what's to come. In this case, soon apparently means more than 5 minutes. Or even 10. I sit there in the living room, just waiting.
3 hours later.
And when the kettle starts whistling and the tea has been served, I continue to wait. At least the silence is relaxing. But then there's a crash. I nearly spill tea over my lap in surprise and look at unexpecting security to come running. Even the man at the kitchen counters continues to fix breakfast like he heard nothing. I don't want to speak up about it because he looks far too absorbed in his cooking, and I don't want to be the cause of burnt food or worse. However, there's something in me that just wants to figure out what that was, although I am normally not this nosy.
I should save the game. Let's see. Continue waiting or check it out. Where am I? Here. Continue waiting.
I have no business with it. These rich people usually value their privacy above all else, after all. Unless, of course, they're posting pictures on social media, bragging about what good people they are for allowing themselves to be interviewed for some magazine. Hypocrites for being such jerks, am I right? Then again, the whole reason I'm in this mess is because I don't give two shites about what goes on with people like them. And I'm not going to get caught snooping around and be accused of some imagined wrongdoing. And I'm not going to be some busybody, detective wannabe, and run off to investigate whatever that was. I don't know what that was. I don't know where it's from. If you're looking for ransom, I'm afraid I don't have any money. What I do have are a very particular set of fashion skills. Skills that I've acquired that could rival Gokwan. Skills that make me fabulous for people like you. So if you come down now, I will not look for you, I will not pursue you. But if you don't come down, I will look for you, I will find you, and I will tell on you. It's probably just something mundane anyway, like a lamp falling over. I'm just going to sit here, wait for Mrs. Wright, with my tea, in complete silence.
Could I at least put the telly on?
I don't really expect him to answer. If he hadn't heard the crash, I doubt he would have heard me.
As long as you don't watch some silly soap opera.
Alright, well, be careful.
The LBC News would be fine. The William Walker Show is on too, if you prefer that. Not that I watch it, but my husband does.
Whoa! Okay, gay person confirmed, okay. Well then, let's just move on then, shall we?
The remote is under the coffee table.
Oh, sure. Maybe I'll be lucky and catch the doc on. I heard they're having reruns of the classics and I want to see the second meet sixth in Spain. If not, just the news then. Thank you. I'll let you get on with your cooking now.
Did he just ignore the crash a while ago and then? Whatever. Affecting the remote, I turned the TV on in the hopes of filling the silence. Trying to anyway, because the thing won't turn on. And doesn't that make the silence more awkward or what? I know I might be the best with tech, but I'm sure I can work a simple television remote.
The batteries must be dead.
Oh! What the heck? What the heck? What the heck? What? Okay! I should have seen this coming. I was expecting a news announcement confirming Miss Rosie to be dead, but nope! News comes back to us. Why is the ghost of Blondie now? Oh, for goodness sakes. There is blood everywhere. Help me, it says in red. I look at my own hands and find them clean, yet I can see my grisly reflection gaping back at me. I think this is the perfect time for Liam Neeson. And though there is nothing staining my skin, I can feel the sticky and warm feeling of true blood dripping down my cheeks. I should be worried. This is just making things 10 times more awkward. Instead, I feel my attention drawn towards her. Her beautiful blonde hair, her soft lips with skin so fair, and swaying hips. I want nothing more than to hold her, plant my lips on her neck, and to run my fingers through her hair. She laughs, and she smiles when she looks at me, but where are her eyes? Is this slender man's niece? Temptation is gone in an instant, and I recoil, horrified at this reflection I am seeing, only to back into something, or rather, someone. Well, that was awkward. That was really awkward. Yikes. That was probably the most awkward, spooky situation ever. You're patiently waiting for this rich couple with some tea. The butler confirms himself to be gay as he's casually making tea with all the noise going on in the background. I desperately try to put on the television, even though there's no batteries, and then a ghost appears. Wow. My, this is extremely awkward for everybody. Even when meeting Hannah, this is... oh boy. I almost back away, but I grabbed myself. This is my client. Whoever I just saw. Well, I wouldn't be too far-fetched to say that I perhaps going a bit daft. Daft? I don't know. That doesn't seem daft to me. It would be preferable, of course, to think if all the trick with the light or the makings of an overactive imagination. Marianne, let's examine that for a while. You are an artistic person, and you're prone to creativity. But I highly doubt, due to your professionalism, that you're one to have a hyperactive imagination. Have there been instances of you having hyperactive imagination prior to this urban legend job? Was that? No? Well, that pretty much confirms the ghost.
Good morning, Mrs. Wright. I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
The power of logic, the power of common sense. Just go with that, yeah.
Have you been standing there long?
No, I just came down and saw you were having a hard time with the telly. We must have forgotten to change the batteries. Are you alright, dear? You're looking a bit pale.
Yeah.
Haven't you had breakfast yet?
No, I'm fine. I had breakfast already, Mrs. Wright. I just need...
Well then, you mustn't have had enough breakfast. I'm all for a good diet, but that's the most important meal of the day. Johans is cooking up pancakes. Pancakes will make anyone feel better, he always says. We can sit down and tuck in. You'll feel right as rain once we get some fluffy, syrupy goodness in you. And are you sure you're fine, Marianne? You're shaking.
Looking down at my hands, I can see them trembling. Thanks for your concerns, Mrs. Wright. You're a lovely person, but we just saw a ghost. Really, just because you look so much like her, I'm becoming a dang train wreck. Oh goodness gracious gravy. That's gonna turn you off from your clients. I've been seeing her in my dreams and hearing her voice ever since I met Mrs. Wright at the mansion. So many blondes in the world. What was the difference with her? I don't know, maybe the fact that you're both being haunted by a ghost. I don't feel so good. I just remembered something. Hold on. Just hold on a moment. Let's see, just remembered something. No, let's just be honest. I'm not feeling too well. I'm starting to go mad, I am. But there is work to be done, and the clock isn't going to stop ticking while I go about having a breakdown. I should go to the loo, splash water in my face and snap out of it. At least until the end of the day. It can't be lasting that long.
I think I just need to excuse myself for a minute, if that's alright.
Oh no. She places a hand on my arm, gentle as can be.
What? No. What if you suddenly fall over or faint while you're all alone?
She's doing the pout, that Dr. Evil pout.
You can just sit down right here and I'll go get you a glass of water.
Thank you very much, Hannah. You're very nice.
Or would you like some beer? That's how you are nowadays now. Drowning everything in booze.
Who said that?
No, I don't want anything to drink. Just...
I must have said something forcefully, judging by the look of Mrs. Wright's face. But why does she care? It's not like we're friends. This is business. I'm either well enough to conduct or not. Or would she pretend to be concerned when I'm simply a means to an end? Just seeing Mrs. Wright reminds me too much of her. And maybe I'm starting to see and hear her again, what I should be. Okay, maybe she has got mental health issues after all. I've tried so hard to leave everything behind, to forget them and move on. And that small touch in her voice in my head has nearly set me off the edge, and in an instant all her memories come flooding back in.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to snap at you like that. I just give me some breathing room, please. Just, please, give me a moment.
Very concerned look. She doesn't respond. Just before the situation gets any more complicated, oh no.
Good morning, ladies. What a wonderful morning it is, that I wake up to such a beautiful sight.
Oh gee, I wonder which beautiful sight you're referring to.
I do hope you two are getting along. I smell pancakes. I do hope you two are considering a diet just so I can have them all to myself.
Don't be a pig, Luke. You eat all of those and you might stop fitting into your tight suits.
What? I'm not a pig.
Yes, you are.
You don't think I'm a pig, do you, Marianne?
I do. With a saucy smile and a playful wink, I can't help but think, you are a bit of a pig, Whiskey.
I don't know, Mr. Wright. I'm an interior designer, not a zoologist.
The only stars she must be familiar with are statement of works.
Well, don't be a bore. You two might not be in a rush, but I'm going to go ahead and feast.
If you dawdle too long, he'll hog all the syrup.
Rich people are so eccentric, especially when they pout and flirt.
Come on then, we can discuss business over food.
There's no denying the clients when they invite me over to the table. And so, maybe I should save the game? Yeah, save the game here, just in case. Yeah, save the game here. This has gone long enough, and if I record any more, it's gonna take up a lot of space on my computer. So, thank you all so much again for watching my Let's Play of The Letter. How much more awkward situations can we get into? Will people repent of their sins? Will the rich people realize that they're being haunted by a ghost? Who will the ghost kill? Will we get the ending where everybody survives and everyone has a morally good life? Because, I've done a bit of research. I don't know if this is a true ending or not, but I'm trying to go for the ending where everyone lives and everyone grows and matures as people. That's the ending I'm going for. So, in the meantime, ScotsMaiar signing out, I guess. Goodbye!